Okay, we're recording. Hi, everybody. Welcome. How are you? Welcome, welcome. And I know we've got new people hopping on tonight, so we're so excited to have you guys on. All right, so if who did not see last Sunday, and if you didn't, there's a recording up. Did anybody not? Okay, well, definitely go back and watch that recording. So this is part 2 of that. So we've been talking about Facebook parties. Y'all have to close the chat because like I am so close. Okay, we've been talking about Facebook parties. Andrea did a great job last week of just talking about why you would want to do them and who should do them. Hashtag everyone. And so tonight I'm going to give you an example because I think that sometimes, here's what I really wanted to find out first. Y'all can just raise your hand, but who's never done a Facebook party? Anybody? Ever? Never? Okay. Okay. Oh, well, a lot of you have done them. Who's afraid to do them? Y'all be honest. Come on. No? God, this is great. Well, this is going to make this super duper easy. Who feels like they haven't really had great results from them? Okay. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay.
Define results, Polly. Like order results or like.
Well, just results in general. Like, how are you feeling about it? Like, are you feeling like, Facebook parties, thumbs up, thumbs down kind of thing? Thumbs up. So, okay. All right. Awesome. Well, ooh, yeah, love them. Okay. Well, I love them too. And so I started doing them a good while ago. I don't know, at least a year ago, I would say, probably. And so the first thing I want to start with, so I'm going to talk about 3 things. Okay. The first thing I want to do is give you an example. And so I went back and I actually counted and I picked out 3 Facebook parties, one from 6 months ago, one from 3 months ago, one from a month ago, and combined them all to give you some numbers so you could kind of see. And I just like randomly like chose. Okay. And then, so I'm going to give you that example. And then I'm going to run through, I'm not going to read everything, don't worry, from the from our team website, but I do want to show you because if you even if you've been doing them, but you haven't gone to the website lately to see what's going on, it's going to be really important to do that because there's been some amazing changes. And I think it's much easier to follow the layout and then some just kind of helpful tips at the end. So I do have some not very fancy slides, a couple. And so I'm going to screen share and just kind of give y'all my first little slide here. So hopefully y'all can see that. Yes? Okay, awesome. So this will just kind of keep me on track. So I went back and this is the reason I want to share this first is I want you, if you're feeling kind of like this about Facebook parties, like Dylan said, I want you to see kind of the bigger picture and I want you to get inspired, hopefully. So out of 3 Facebook parties, like I said, one was like 6 months ago, one was 3 months ago, one was last month, just randomly chose. Total of 75 people that were in these parties, a total of connections made, meaning people that I'm talking to or talked to or whatever, and still kind of 17. Total volume at time of parties. Do you guys see that? Big fat goose egg, 0. Total volume to date from all 3, $2,266.40. Total preferred clients to date, 5. Total business builders. I just signed up somebody today. I'm not sure if she's on, Tanya, if you are. And she came from one that I booked from another one. And then I've got 2 more PCs that are signing up with orders this week from that particular one. Okay. So the reason I thought I'd show you this is sometimes I feel like we can look at a Facebook party and go, and remember that 75 was 3. One of them had like 14 and one of them had like 40 something and whatever. And honestly, the 40 something didn't do any better than the others. But I just wanted to kind of show y'all this first so that you could get an idea of like, it's not you, it's numbers. If you're feeling a little bit like, oh, I don't know if these are really, working yet or not. So for me, that was pretty exciting when I kind of went back and looked at that. And I definitely have had some that have been the big fat goose egg as well. Okay, so I want to just stop the share. And then I'm going to go to our team. So did that excite anybody? Like, Or did you feel like when you saw those numbers, like, oh, okay? Because sometimes you see, wow, I had 75 people in 3 Facebook parties and I've only got 1 or I've got 5 or whatever. But you guys, I'm still going back to some of those. So I know we kind of touched on this last week, or Andrea did, but I wanted to give you a concrete example. Like, I mean, I was like going back through and counting and adding up volume and really looking. And sometimes I think until you do that, you don't really get a real clear picture. And the thing is, like Andrea said last week, so what? They didn't take me hardly any time. Yes, the follow-up does, but we're in the relationship building business. That's what we do. We are building relationships. We're meeting people, finding people, and all that. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do, no slides. I'm going to share my screen. I have a new computer, so y'all bear with me. I am learning how to get to everything and share a screen and all that. Okay, so let's close this down, open this back up. Can everybody see that? I'm on the team website. Okay, awesome. So I just wanted to kind of go here, and I was kind of afraid that if I went go here, then go here, then go here, and I showed all of that, that it would mess everything up. So you guys, if you're brand new, I'm in Success and Simplicity Nations. I'm in Team Resources. And then all you do is look down the screen for one of the gray buttons that says Facebook Parties. And then this is where we are. And so this kind of the why Facebook party is what Andrea talked about last week. And I just want to just show you how clear, hopefully clear and concise this is. If you're brand new or you've only done one, has anybody not looked at the new website, or not new website, but at the new Facebook outline that we've done recently? You guys are all like rock stars. So everybody knows this. So I can stop now. Yes? I'm kidding, y'all, come on. Okay, so hopefully this is much easier, I think, to follow. So just really nice and simple. Step one, here's some ask. Setting up the Facebook group, we have some new different themes, yay, that you can go with. And the graphics, you just click on one of the buttons, it's gonna take you over to where all the bundle graphics are, and they look amazing. So here, how to create a Facebook group, there's actually a link to take you to so that you can, and the beauty of this now is how duplicatable it is. Okay, so if you have a new person, hopefully you can send them here, and yes, you want to make sure they find it and they know where to go and all that, but they should be able to easily follow this. How to create a Facebook group, how to upload a cover photo. Click here for the cover photo image. If I click there, hopefully it'll change for you guys. But here's all the different themes. Did it change for y'all, Gabby? Yeah, okay, awesome. And then it's so super easy to just go right back once I grab one of the themes and one of the photos or the graphics that I want to use. I'm just going to pop right back over and I'm going to go, okay, I did step one, I did step two. Now my host is coaching. I really want to point out the pro tips here for y'all because these are golden. And these are the things that you really want to make sure that you want to read all of it. But on the pro tips, this is really where the magic kind of is. So for instance, reaching out to people individually, like coaching your hostess to reach out to people individually. And we're going to touch on a couple of these at the very end, but I didn't want to overdo it. So like some of these I won't touch on. So just make sure that you're checking all the things and make sure that you're really following these pro tips. There's something new called 20 guests in 20 minutes. You can click there and you'll be able to see just a little visual so that you can help your hostess. And that's really important. That's one of my tips at the end. So we'll come back to that. So this is, I would say, one of your most important things right here in step 3 is coaching your hostess. If you have a good hostess and you're coaching him or her well, you're going to have a better event. Absolutely, 100%, no doubt. The 3-way messages are just another part of hostess coaching. So make sure that you're doing this. And y'all, this is so brilliant the way it's set up. And I can't take credit for this. I did like the basics, the bones, and then Andrea and Gabby made it actually look good and made it work better and be in order. So it's perfect. I don't know if y'all remember the last way that it was a little hard to follow, but this is exactly in order. This is exactly what you need to do. So hostess coaching, again, I'm not going to read the whole thing to y'all, but doing your three-way message. I don't know if y'all have ever done one without doing this, but and then I've done it with, and now I would never not do it with these three-way messages with my hostess, because that's what connects you. We talked about that last week also. Scheduling the post. And if you don't know how to schedule a post, here's a link to show you how. Yay. So everything is done for you basically. Okay. So if you can read, we always say this, if you can read, you can do Arbonne. So it should be so super simple now for you guys to go and do Facebook parties, because ideally, and we'll talk about this too at the end, but ideally you should be able to block off your time and go, okay, I'm going to do 3 a night or 2 a night or whatever you want to do. Like if you're going to do 2 nights a week, Facebook parties, whatever you decide you want to do. So just making sure that you know where everything is, you know what to do. Here's all the, all the different posts that you're going to schedule. Doing a quick live intro. I don't know if you guys have been doing that with your Facebook parties, but that is key, making sure you're going live beforehand so you don't take up 15 minutes of your actual Facebook live time, but that you're actually going live first to just kind of tell your iStory. And then here's the script. So step 7, just go in and pop in, over to the script. And you guys, the more you do this, the more you'll kind of get your mojo down on that. And then the last little things, following up, polls to earn points, all the things. So that's it. I mean, how simple and easy and like clear visually is that, right? What do you guys think about that? Y'all can unmute. This is not a nobody else can talk training. Isn't it great? So has anybody used it yet? Have y'all been using it? Yeah?
Yeah, I used it all this week.
Good. What do you think? So far, so good.
What did you say about going live twice?
What's that?
What did you say about going live twice?
So before you actually go live, so let's say your Facebook party is Thursday night at 7:30. So that day, you should at some point during the day go live to tell your iStory, to introduce yourself to people and just say, hey, everybody, I'm so excited to get, to be able to share Arbonne with you guys tonight. But I wanted to pop on for just a minute here and just share a little bit about me and my background and how I was introduced to Arbonne. So that's basically sharing your iStory. It shouldn't be super long, a few minutes, not super long, but then that way you're not taking up that time, because 15 minutes is not much time.
I know.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So do you tell them all and you send the messages saying you're going to do that? Right.
I've just been popping in and going live, and I don't know. Do you guys post that you're going to go live? I don't.
So I just pop on there and do live. I mean, basically, Jean, it's just so like the 15-minute presentation is 15 minutes, and it's all about the presentation and the products and all of that. And it's really just a chance for you to do your iStory, just for people to get to know you, and just it's so people can see things in bite-sized pieces.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
so
in
that'll
the
post on the site.
It'll tell you exactly how to do it. In the directions there, it'll say do your live. And so do your live.
I missed that one.
And we're going to have time at the end, because this training, like, again, I mean, I could have said, and I could have gone deep dive into the website, but it's all there and y'all should be able, and really doing it is what's going to get you super familiar with it. But instead, I wanted to kind of hopefully inspire you a little bit by those numbers and show you where everything is, and then finish up my part and then really open it up. So I have one more screen to share with you guys, one more slide that I wanted to talk about.
When you're done sharing that slide, can you go over the numbers one more time for the people who popped on a little bit late?
Yeah, absolutely.
Before we open it for questions, because I think that's super compelling, and it just helps people understand like expectations.
Yeah, let me go ahead. I'll go back to that and go over it again right now. And then, okay, so yeah, for anybody that hopped on late, y'all, I'm learning, by the way, how to do my new computer. So hopefully y'all can see this. But for anybody that hopped on late, the first thing I shared was, so I had been doing these for a while. And so I actually went back. I forgot to show y'all, but on our team website, there's actually a Facebook tracker. There's one for tracking your parties. So if you're booking, if your goal is big and you happen to be booking a lot of these, there's a tracker so that you can keep track. And there have been times when I've been like, oh, I've got a lot. So I need to keep track of what I've done for each party. Have I set it up? Have I done the description? Have I, whatever. So there is a tracker. So that's really good. But anyway, I wanted to give you guys some numbers so that you can kind of see, because I feel like a lot of times, we come together, but we're independent consultants. And so we're out there doing our thing and we think, and this is a head game and it's very easy to tell yourself like, I'm doing something wrong. Why am I not getting blah, blah, blah. This didn't work. If you had looked at any of these 3 parties that I pulled for these numbers, you would have said at the end of the actual Facebook party that they were duds. You would have said, I was like, oh Lord, I hope some follow-up happens. But these numbers I just pulled, one was 6 months ago, one was 3, and one was last month. A total of 75 people in all 3. I did not count all 75 people on my 40-face list because I didn't make connections with all 75 people. One of them, I think my hostess didn't listen to me and she went in and hit invite. And even though people accept that invite, they really don't, they maybe aren't interested. So that's what happened. But total connections made, those are people that I talked to, that we went back and forth, maybe they had a sample, 17 out of 75. Total volume at time of parties, 0. When those parties ended, nothing. Big old 0. Total volume to date from all 3, $2,266.40. Some of that happened today. Total PCs 5. I think I've got 2 more from the one a month ago. They're going to sign up and purchase this week. Total business builders to date 1. Just signed up today. And Tanya, I can't see everybody, so I don't know if you're here today. I think she was going to hop on, but so one of those parties happened because of the other 2, because of one of the other ones. I booked one from one, and that's the one the business builder came from. So if you, again, this was just to kind of give you a visual. I'm very visual, and I was like, if I can see that, oh, somebody else had 75 people and only ended up with 1 business builder or 5 preferred clients, it helps me because I feel like, okay, I'm not a total loser. I'm actually doing pretty good. And also, I think it's really, the other thing I should share with you guys is that I still have things going on with these people. And some of this volume was somebody purchasing more than once. So that means it's gonna, and that's the cool thing about this whole business is, I always, if somebody asked me like, I remember somebody used to always ask me, what's your cost of goods sold? Who was a business person, like from a traditional business. And I would always say, I don't know, because my cost or whatever, if you want to call it that, to obtain a client is continually diminishing over all the years that client is going to continue to come back and purchase. So how could I possibly know that? So that's the really interesting and fun part of this business. And I hope that you see, like for me, that's why I put this background here, you guys. It's because it's so fun. And once you realize like, oh, okay, I just got to keep going. So that's just the first part. And then this last thing I want to share with you guys, and then really just open it up. Because again, I was like, okay, I could have gone through the website for you guys and just been like, but y'all can read. So I just wanted to show you where it is. Helpful tips. Number 1, do not overcomplicate this. Jump in and fail forward. The very first presentation I went to, which was an in-person one by myself without Andrea, I cried at the end of it when I got out to my car. It was so bad. I literally tears crying. I won't even go into it because we don't have time. And I thought, well, I can cry or I can chalk it up to experience because I know one day I'm going to laugh about it. And looking back now, I'm just like, oh my gosh, that was just crazy, but it was experience. And I failed forward. And that there's a really great, John Maxwell talks about that. Really important. So it's really important to jump in and just flail. It's okay. Maybe do one with your sponsor, right? But then jump in. Don't be scared. We've got everything for you. The best copycat wins. This is super duper important. Follow the leader, get good before you get creative. Please get good first. Meaning, if you can see it like the back of your hand, right? If you know it, then later on we'll talk about creative. And really, when I looked back at all those numbers, like I had all these numbers, and I was like, oh God, I gotta condense this down. It's making me crazy when I was doing this today. But when I look back, I was like, oh my gosh, look how many I've done, and and definitely the batting average is getting better and better and better. But I've also really learned that, just like Andrew talked about last week, the purpose of this is just filling the funnel, and it's kind of like, y'all might not have noticed, but my background with confetti, I saw this in this picture, is that all the confetti's up here and there's a lot of it, right? And then it's trickling down, trickling down, trickling down. And then there's a little of it at the bottom. And that's kind of how we do with these parties. So there's a whole lot, and then it just trickles down until the right people come into your business. Okay. I have a call to action for you guys. So, and one other thing that I didn't, that's in my notes, but I forgot to mention, let me just pull them up so I make sure I don't miss something else. And I'm sure y'all are going to have questions, and there's other people that will have good points if they want to do this. But let's see. So how many parties will it take to get good at? Probably about 15 or so. Andrew mentioned that last week, but you guys give yourself grace, follow the leader, follow the system. It doesn't mean nothing's going to happen. Don't worry from all those other ones. How many should you do a month? Work with your sponsor on that. I mean, it just kind of depends. I think for me, my minimum for me is 2 a week, maybe more. It just depends on my goals, right? How many asked to book those parties? Okay, I did some numbers on this. I asked 10 people this weekend and I got 2 yeses. So I don't know if that's super typical, but I thought that would be helpful for you guys just to know. I was kind of just playing around to see, but I was asking good people, and that good. I'm so glad that I said that, because that's what I wanted to talk about. The last thing, the last little list before the call to act, or the last thing on the helpful tips before the call to action was, so shoot, I just lost that train of thought. All right, call to action, I'll come back to it. Okay, next steps, you guys. What I want you to do is pick your days and nights that work for you. So this is your business. And so, manage your time and pick what you want. When do you want to do these Facebook events? They take about 15 minutes. I always have a little bit of setup because I want everything close by. They take about 15 minutes that night, 15, 20 minutes. And then your setup time is going to take, I don't know, maybe 20, 30. I don't know. Just depends on, the faster you'll get faster and faster as you go. Make your list of potential hosts. Oh, this is what I wanted to say. So this is helpful tips and call to action. Think about this. So your hostess makes all the difference. So don't, like Gabby, we were talking before this, and we were talking about how just think about people that have a good network. Maybe they have a different network. They have they're a positive, they have glass half full, the law of attraction. Like, you want to ask people, like, don't just fill your calendar to fill your calendar. Does that make sense, y'all? Like, really think about it. Don't overthink it. And then I like to set aside time and do all my ask at once. Everybody's different. And for Facebook parties, I'm doing my daily method, but I like to do that. And I like to load my bases and kind of have my month booked. So that's just me. So I will stop the share, and I know y'all probably have questions or comments or things you want to add in. Or it was so good that you'll have nothing else that you need to say.
Hey, Polly, I actually do.
Okay, Princess.
Okay, so you said the day of the party. I just wanted to clarify. You can go on at any point to do your iStory of that day, or a few minutes before the party. What would...
I always go earlier during the day, but I don't think there's a hard and fast rule on that. I just usually go, or I think everybody's different. Like, if you're working a 9 to 5, maybe, you could go in the bathroom, but the backdrop might not look too good. But I think it's just whatever.
Yeah, and that's one thing too I want to like point out that don't be nervous about this because like no one else knows that you're doing it wrong if you do it wrong. I mean, there's really no way to do this wrong. And like everyone else is just going to think it's great. I mean, this is really just like a made up thing to like, but like there's like a template now, like, you know, and like a guide to follow. So we're all duplicating so we can get like, you know, duplicate the same results. But like if you like mess up, even on your live, I mean, the most important thing is to be having fun. Like if you're having fun with it and you're laughing at yourself and, you know, like, I mean, Lord knows I've said the wrong thing every time I've done a Facebook live. But I mean, the thing is if you're having fun and you're just being yourself and real, I mean, then your guests are having fun, you know, and they're learning something and you're just, you know, you're just building that relationship. And that's really the only purpose of this is just to build that relationship. So then you can be engaged in conversation with them and like furthering like, you know, them through the Arbonne funnel.
Yeah, absolutely. I see what y'all are saying over here. Yeah, we used to say 6 for success, 8 to be great, 10 to win, 12 to excel. So, I mean, definitely work with your sponsor on how many. And again, this to me, it's just the Facebook party is just not a, I mean, it's just bringing more people in and relationship building. So, I mean, it's not like, oh, we know exactly if I do X amount, I'm gonna get in front of X people. You really don't. I mean, you really don't. Like that one that had 48 people, but I really didn't. I did get, I think, 2 preferred clients from that one, but yeah.
Yeah, you guys, like I say this all the time. Like I used to be like womp womp about the Facebook parties. And I'm like, ew, because we've all gotten those weird messages or like weird invites to pages that you're like, I didn't ask for this. Why are people adding me to these pages? So I was like, there's no way in heck I'm gonna subject someone else to that. Like, no. And I was so resistant. I did them for my team and like I saw them like having a good time. I loved it, all this stuff, but I was like, I can't do that myself. But I've done so many myself and they were so fun. I just got off of one before the call today and like it's just so fun to connect with other people's networks and like so energizing. And you guys like you can like just stack your weekends with these Facebook parties. They take 15 minutes. And if you think about it, you guys, history always repeats itself. Like people would build their Arbonne businesses purely off of group presentations when we were like faxing in orders, like we didn't have, internet stuff and things where people can just go on themselves and order or that one-on-one stuff. It was pure group presentation. So if there are like, if Cecilia Stoll built her business off of group presentations, which she did, and she's a 12 light MVP, like Facebook parties, you guys, like this is gold. And it's 15 minutes. I'm just like, my mind is blown. Over the past 2 months, there's like over 100 people added to my network. And, I don't know the orders or anything like that, but I mean, just that alone, like if you go in with the idea, like Andrew was saying last week of like, think of how many people you're going to be adding to your network. Like that is always my goal. And like, that is the most fun part about it, I think, because we're not going anywhere. I know your booty is staying home, like you can't be smiling at people at the coffee shop and just getting their Instagram there because they're all wearing masks and stuff. So like, this is the next best thing.
Yeah, it's so much easier than group. That's so right, Yen. I mean, y'all, we used to load, and Dawn's shaking her head, we used to load up. I have a cart that Andrea gave me that I love, but I mean, I used to load everything up and now it's just like turnkey. I mean, it's just so
now we use that cart for the beach.
Yeah. Yeah, but these are super valuable. And that was really the whole point is I wanted you to feel inspired from those numbers to go, oh, and that was just 3. I mean, I had a whole bunch more, but just go out there and you never know who you're going to meet. I had a conversation with a lady today who's at the beach, by the way. And what's funny is I've met people through Facebook events that were in my network, but I didn't know, like Annika knows Tanya. So Annika, Tanya, I know you're on mute, but Tanya for me just signed up today too to be a consultant, and Tanya works at the same place as my husband, but I met her through a Facebook party. So go figure. Okay. So duh. I mean, you're going to meet other people, but you might meet somebody next door that you're like, oh my gosh, they were right sitting right there. And who knew they might be interested in these products or this business. So how dare you not, like Rita used to say, go out there and share, people. Anything else, you guys? Any other questions? So definitely go and look at the way the outline is now. It's so nice. It's so clear and easy. But I think we should have a little, call to action here. Like maybe y'all can decide how many do you want to book for yourself this week or whatever. I don't know. Well, that was awesome, right? Y'all are just riveted.
That was so good, Polly.
Polly,
Thank
you're
you.
the
Thanks
best.
for showing
So,
those
so
numbers.
good.
You're speechless.
Wonderful. Thank you.
All right. Well, hopefully that was inspiring. It's 8:03. So unless if you guys have more questions, we'll stay on. Otherwise, go out and book some Facebook events.
That was great. Thank
All
you.
Thank you, Polly.
Thanks,
Bye.
Polly.
Bye.